Hey, this is Nicholas with the Backyard TARDIS here with another Adventures in Locksmithing. This time we're going to talk about a time when I bit off more than both me and my company could choose. It wasn't my company at the time, I was just an employee at this point, but got called out, rekey an office, and the landlord was like, they left this safe, we need it moved out of here, it's bolted to the floor, can you guys remove it? And it was, about 3 feet by 4 feet high by 3.5 feet deep or something like that. Just giving a rough off of memory. And I remember my calling into my managers, oh yeah, this, that, charge him this. And then he gets out there and he realizes, because a new safe that you go down to the hardware store and you buy at a box store, a new safe, it weighs next to nothing. This thing weighed like a half ton when we had it weighed by the tow truck, which we'll get there. But this was an antique. This was a real safe. And so you look at it, it had basically like a floor plate that was an L bracket that then the safe sat inside and bolted to from the side. So all we had to do was remove all these drive-in pins that came from that. Older style of anchoring the safe down. It wasn't just like a hole in the center that anchored it down, but actually from the side that attached the skirting. So we were able to get that off, but the safe was too heavy for us to lift, to do anything. It took all of our effort to tip it enough to put it on some steel dowels. And we were able then to roll it off, even on the dowels, with great effort, to roll it around the office. But at the edge of the office, there was, like this 6-inch incline ramp. And it's a glass storefront door. And the way this is an office complex with a sidewalk, and on the other side of the sidewalk, once again, like a 6-inch incline to another glass storefront door. And we knew that if we just let this thing roll down, it would go right across and roll right through their door. So we had to put all this pulley stuff, mounted the wall, just to get it out. Extreme effort, and then we get it wheeled out to the back. And our original plan was we had built a bunch of 2x6s and reinforced it and built this ramp into the back of the truck, did a winch and pulleys, and we were doing all this effort and it broke the ramp. And that's when we saw on the bottom side that it had a shipping hook. So there was like a skirt that was what attached to that, and underneath there was a hook to be held from the shipping crane. And so we went ahead, the owner's cousin was part of a mechanic / towing service, and so we had him come with his tow truck. And he was like, it's a really nice safe, heavy, good, and he weighed it for us, and it was like crazy thing, because it turns out, it's like 4-inch thick steel walls. It's this big safe, but it's meant just to be like a money safe. So it was thick security. They don't make them like that anymore. So we can't find any information on the manufacturer. So our safe tech, he's drilling, and the way you do a safe, you drill at drill points that you can see everything moving. But if you drill in the wrong place, you can hit the relocker, and if the relocker's hit, then even with it, it springs out and it locks the safe, and then you have to know the point of the relock piece to undo that. So he hit that, and basically then it became a giant paperweight. We checked into how much it was for scrap, because we were basically just trying to see if he could tow it down to the scrapyard and get his money worth there. So we didn't have to pay him anything, because we definitely did not get enough money for removing this thing. And because we took some pictures of it, because it wasn't necessarily pure steel, they were going to weigh it out as mixed metal, and because they couldn't just melt it down as pure, because it had parts and all that stuff in there was different metals, it's not considered pure. And because of that, they were going to pay us like $40. Not worth moving it again. So we paid him some money, and he says, I'll probably need a favor. You come unlock my truck or something sometime for free. Said, don't worry about it, We put it out back. Now this is where the story gets interesting, because then one time this guy in a little, I can't remember if it was a Nissan or a little Toyota, one of those little like Toyota T100 trucks or something like that. Small little dinky thing, with a roof, the rack, for like the ladder and stuff on the back of it. And he wanted the thing. He's like, "Can I have it?" And we're like, So we made him sign a release that he couldn't sue us for any harm that come to him while he was picking it up off our property, or any harm that it caused, that he was taking all responsibility for it. And he gladly signed that. And he started to get it into his truck. He did all these pulleys, and he was bending his track and messing up his tailgate. And he's like, "I still want it, but I got to come back." So he runs down, gets a U-Haul trailer or something like that. And the whole time, he's just convinced this is the gold mine. And then he goes down to Home Depot, picks up a bunch of guys waiting around, looking for some, field farm work, or because construction's down. But, normally, like, they're looking to get pulled up as extra guys on a crew, just to do some manual labor. And so they come out. He's got them all pulling on ropes and pulleys, and he spent all this money because he thinks this safe is recyclably worth a gold mine. And he's just thoroughly, and we're thinking, like, we already looked into it. They weren't going to give us at the scrapyard more than $40 for it. And he's probably spent over $100 in this supposed gold mine that he's found. But eventually, he got it loaded, and he got it off, and we told him he couldn't bring it back. So, but from then on, like, I knew as a rookie, now, when you look at moving a safe, like, you need to examine what kind of safe it is, because there are safes that I can walk in that aren't even 100 pounds that are for sale today. But this was a real safe, and it's true, they don't make them like they used to. Anyways, that's just another adventure in locksmithing. Hope everyone is having a good day. I'll catch you in the next video.